Weaponeer again. And do you remember this? Well, I had to do these back to back. And the reason is, well, they're both strike and they both have the nice tan look. You can get these, in black and tan and green, so they come in a number of different colors. But rather than talking about the grip this time, I got to talk about the trigger guard. This is a very unique trigger guard. I always replace my stock trigger guards. And the reason is the stock trigger guard is not glove friendly. Now you can go ahead and wear a pair of leather gloves in there, but depending on how thick the leather is in there, sometimes you got to screw your finger in there just to get it in there, and then you can go ahead and use it to shoot. I typically like something that's got a little bit more space here, and if it's got a little bit more space, I can easily go ahead and get a gloved finger in there and use it for shooting. And I also like the looks of them. Now, typically, I've been using Magpul, and really, after seeing this one right here, I believe I'm going to be switching to this one. The reason I say I believe is I have yet to see anything that impresses me as much as this one does. Now, this right here, you're going to notice it has these little sections here. Well, this is called the Cobra because it's got the hood. And it's a really nice design. Number one, it makes sure your finger is out of the trigger guard when it's not supposed to be in the trigger guard. It also gives you a place to rest your finger that's not on the trigger, which is a really nice feature. And then when you have your trigger finger in there, it's positive. It's nice and comfortable. It's positive. No problem at all. The other thing this does is it prevents easily having a limb. And I know somebody that's had this happen, not with an AR. It was a shotgun, but this is basically the same principle. And what had happened was he was holding onto the shotgun, and he saw a rabbit, and he pulled it up. Actually, did it in the left hand. He pulled it up, and as he pulled it up, what had happened was a branch came across, and it was able to get inside the trigger guard, and it hit the trigger, and he had his hand on top of the barrel. So when it hit the trigger, bam, did a really good number on his fingers. So a design such as this is not going to totally prevent it, because the only thing you can do to prevent it is pay attention. But having this nice wider trigger guard, that right there really limits anything that's going to be able to go ahead and get inside there. So it's a good safety factor with this. The other part is, like I said, it's all about the looks, and for me it looks good. I like it, and that's the only person I got to go ahead and impress is myself. If I like something, and then I'm going to be using it. Now, like I said, this has got really nice lines between the both of them. Although these trigger guards can work with anything. But the other thing I really love about this is there's no gap. You don't have that darn little gap right there. And why the other companies hadn't done that, I don't know. But this right here, there are a couple of them that have done it, but the majority of them have not. And it's nice and smooth. So when you see right here, this goes a nice smooth right there without any holes or anything. So it just makes it look cleaner, neater, and that means something to me. Now, it also has, there's not really checkering, but there is a little grip area in the bottom here as well. So it's a really good design. I really like it. It was easier to install than the Magpul. And the other thing about this is it comes in several different types. Now this one right here is the full. This is the ambidextrous one, and meaning that it's got the hood on both sides. If you want, you can have the hood only on the off side, so you can go ahead and not have the hood on this side. So it works like a standard trigger guard for you, except you'll have this extra pad right here. Or it works on the other side, so you can have it on one side, or you can have it on the other side, or you can have the full, which is the full Cobra. And personally, I like the full the best. although I do have a couple other ones that are going to be used on future builds. And so I've got one on the right, one on the left, just to see if it makes any difference. I'll try it and see if I like it or not. But so far, you know, when I say I'm going to like it or not, I'm talking about having the, you know, the single versus the full, and having the both sides. So I really like this. I think you're going to like it too if you haven't already checked them out before. This is a neat design, and as I stated at the start, this is from strikeindustries.com. I really can't say too much more about it. I mean, what can you say about a trigger guard? There's not a whole lot to say other than the fact that I like the way this is designed. It's got the proper shape that I'm looking for, and it has this new hood design, and I actually like that. It doesn't add any real weight to it, and it is polymer, so it's really going to take an extreme amount of beating as compared to let's say the Magpul. The Magpuls that I've been using over the years, those are aluminum, and if you go ahead and you scratch them, well, you take off the finish on it, and then you got that nice bright shiny aluminum on it. Or if you had to go ahead and fit it to the trigger guard, which I've had to do on several different ones. So this one I like because it didn't require any fitting whatsoever. It fit the first time properly. Very easy to install. You have the single pin going in, and you've got on one side you have a hex screw that goes inside on one side, and then it's solid, and it really is. There's no rattling, no movement whatsoever. So if you're interested in looking closer at that design, take a look at it. It'll be at the Strike Industries. I'll have the link below as I normally do. But any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to rate my videos. I'm Weaponeer, and I'll catch you in the next one.